This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Monday. Good evening. Welcome. I'm not high enough for this shit. Not high at all, really, because I just had dinner. So let's get a little high. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of news that be doing. A lot of people that need a good trolling. It's a wild night tonight. First of all, I don't understand why they had to cancel Milli Vanilli. Like, why couldn't the dudes that were actually the singers just continue? Why you gotta cancel them? Imagine how many hits we missed out on. I've been upset about that for almost 30 years now. For exactly 30 years. I don't even remember how long it's been. I've got multiple trolls. One of them might be watching right now. Hey, Mr. Grace, how are you? To our friend Jerome, who called in. It's been a couple of weeks ago. Jerome has me blocked on everything, but still is somehow trying to troll me. Jerome said that he has tried to call in the last 2 nights. Buddy, you're dumb. I'm not even on Saturday nights, but you didn't try to call in last night either. I can see my missed calls. I have like 3 or 4 that I think were you, but you called in when the stream wasn't on. So I'm not exactly sure what you were expecting, my friend. We are on Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We go about 2 or 3 hours. You calling me at like 12:30 is probably futile. Because I ain't gonna answer. That's not my personal cell phone you're calling. If you're dumb enough to maybe believe that. Sorry I fucked up the YouTube stream earlier. That was the reason why the link might have not worked. My apologies on that one. What we gonna be talking about tonight? We got news that must be discussed. Elon was booed at an event. I can't wait to play that video. An online prophet. He claims to be a prophet. He has a huge following. He's now been convicted of child abuse. I've never seen this guy before, but I do have a video pulled up so we can watch it. Get the lowdown on this dude. Speaking of child abuse, one of my trolls apparently thinks the Gary Glitter segment from last night was somehow complimentary to Gary Glitter, which is absurd if you actually watched the fucking video. But like, clearly the dude that's trolling me has never watched anything I've done, because he says the most absurd shit. Keeps calling me a corporate dim. And I'm like, I don't even believe corporations should be a thing. So how could I possibly be a corporate Democrat? I really don't even consider myself a Democrat, but if I was, I would be part of the progressive wing. You know, Rashida Tlaib, Ariana Presley, Cory Bush. Those my homies. Paul Bowman, Max Frost. Those the people I'd be running with. Here's your meme of the day. A friend and I saw you from across the bar, and we really dig your vibe. Corporate dim. Which, I mean, I've said it many, like, okay. Whatever political persuasion that gets me closest to pissing in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole. That's the political persuasion, the political party that I'm going to follow. That's all I care about in politics. I just want to piss in Dan Crenshaw's eye pussy. So if being a corporate Democrat allows me to get closer to my goal of pissing in Dan Crenshaw's eye pussy, fucking corporate me up. Give me that Soros money. All about it. Oh, god damn. That Gary Glitter clip, it cracks me up. The whole Hulk Hogan story about Hulk Hogan and the Make-A-Wish kid that never happened, and him wrestling in Wembley Stadium that never happened. Where's my kick peeps at? Fucking, usually I've got clinically 15 minutes before the stream even starts. Like, get with the news, boy. Nobody from Kicks even piped up. I've just got lurkers. Tonight it's my trolls all watching, and they're like, Jesus, nobody really does watch this guy. Usually there are people here. I don't know. They'll file in eventually. A man was arrested after he was caught on video drinking gasoline. A tenant was tricked into cleaning a crime scene. NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson's nephew was shot in the face by his grandmother, who was apparently a doctorate of something that went nuts. Tragedy out of the Carolinas today in more ways than one. A USC student shot. They had just moved into a house down the street, apparently had went to the wrong home, and was trying to gain entry, was shot through the door. A fire and rescue helicopter crashed. At least 2 people are dead. Speaking of aviation crashes, we now have footage of the Wagner chief talking about how his plane was going to fall apart. Igniting conspiracy theories across the internet. A soldier shot into Mexico. Apparently struck somebody. I don't think they died. That's kind of like an act of war, you know, shooting into a sovereign country. Shooting one of their citizens. This based bakery in San Francisco is refusing to serve the popo. We're going to check in with the Cop City protesters in Atlanta who have had their lives ruined after being labeled domestic terrorists. I still have the meme up. Snicks, good evening. Old Donald Trump. Trump has a new mural in Atlanta. This comes as the judge has set a trial date for the... God, I don't even know which case it is. It's the January 6th case on the federal level. Maybe it's the classified. I don't know. I get them confused. Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz moving to censure Judge Tanya Chutkan. I think that's the documents case. No, that's the January 6th case. The documents case is the other. That's the batshit crazy judge that Trump appointed. The January 6th case is Judge Chutkan. Matt Gaetz moving to censure Judge Chutkan. We're going to talk about Mark Meadows' strategy for trying to get moved into federal court. Oh man, I got a twofer tonight. I got video of two horrible people getting booed. Not only do you get video of Elon Musk getting booed, you get video of Ron DeSantis getting booed. A shooter is in a suspect. My journalistic ethics kicking in here. A suspect is in custody following a shooting at UNC Chapel Hill earlier today. Get an update on that. I believe one person was dead. Shooter taken alive. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol. Live. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Is Kick not working? I don't want to get started with this first segment until, you know, the peeps are here. Did I fuck something up with Kick? No, I'm on. Oh, DJ Dub, there you are. John, what's going on, my friend? Yeah. I didn't want the beef. It just kind of came at me. I guess you can thank Flash for it. How do I even want to start this? Getting high. I want to get high. Give me one moment. I gotta get in the right mindset. It is my position, usually, to not start shit with other leftist streamers that are nominally in the same space that I am and that I even, might respect. Apparently there is this streamer by the name of Xanderhal. I don't think I'm saying that right. I apologize for getting your name wrong. I'm bad with names. Anybody who watches this stream knows this. So Xanderhal decided to play one of my videos on their stream. And they apparently played it twice. Now, I have had no clue who Xanderhal was until yesterday. Somebody made mention in the chat, I think back on Thursday, somebody mentioned it the first time, and then Flash pointed it out again yesterday, and linked me to the video, because I probably wouldn't have even paid attention to it. So Flash comments with the video, links me to the exact moment when Xanderhal plays my video. It's the Matt Walsh Nazi diaper wrestling video, and he's playing it off of my TikTok. And I even had to go and censor the thumbnail. On YouTube it says Nazi diaper wrestling. On TikTok I had to censor Nazi. I've actually got like 20 strikes on TikTok right now. I keep getting strikes just for doing my normal content, but that's neither here nor there. So Xanderhal plays the Matt Walsh Nazi diaper wrestling video, and doesn't say like, hey, JustinFREAKIN, cool, hey, go follow this guy, thank you. I think that's kind of a scummy move. That's just me. I'm a much smaller streamer, and I would never play another content creator's stuff without crediting them. I do my best to give people a shout out when like I use their stuff. But apparently he played my video twice, might follow me on TikTok, or just has my video bookmarked. Well, thank you, John. Well, we'll get to that. I want to say I have no beef with Xanderhal, and I have no beef with anybody that watches Xanderhal. I kind of have beef with his manager now. Because Flash commented in the YouTube chat and gave me the link to X watch or Xan or whatever he goes by watching the video, and I just left a comment. It was like, you could have gave me a shout out. Lame. He seems like a laid back guy from what I can tell from what I've watched. And, you know, God bless him for going after the Daily Wire and everything. I've got beef with the Daily Wire. That's what, like, we should be on the same side here.
JustinFREAKIN is a formidable voice in the culture.
So, this is the original video where Zan played my clip. Walsh. One of these dudes has a Nazi tattoo. They're in diapers. And Matt Walsh is right there with a microphone.
Let's get you guys over here. Now we have...
Now, in my time doing work for... I'm a full-time video editor. That's what I do. I do not make money off my own stuff. I edit for other people. And learning the tricks of the trade and everything, I actually switched not that long ago to where it says JustinFREAKIN down here. That I might have watched a YouTube video about SEO or something, and I had been doing it wrong and had the Troll Patrol logo there. But like, I need to promote my actual channel name, which is JustinFREAKIN on everything. So that's why I switched. So that's actually good on me. My name is displayed. People know how to get to me if they want to see my content. But still, people don't. You need like that cue from somebody. Zan here giving me a shout out would have been awesome. You know, like that. That would have actually triggered people to go and subscribe to the channel. Whereas, you know, I don't know how many people would have been like, hey, let me go check this guy out just because my name is on screen.
This is not happening with the mate.
It's gonna happen. It's a good. It's
This is Matt Walsh, and welcome to Jackass Nazi Edition.
ready. What?
But we're gonna go find out who won. This is from Matt Walsh's early.
So there's one of the guys there from the diaper fight in the video, and if you pause it, you can see he's got a swastika tattoo on his shoulder blade there. Just a little, just a chill little swastika vibing out there, just hanging. Guys, you know Matt Walsh's bio literally says like he calls himself a theocratic fascist in his bio.
Yeah, it just moves on.
And he affirms it's not ironic or a joke.
They're like, hey, thank you to JustinFREAKIN for that clip. That's all. Like, I thought it was pretty scummy to do that to me. And I just commented under the video. Lame. Well, Zan's manager sends me a message in Discord. This is Cherry Bread TV. Hey, I'm Xanderhal's manager editor. I saw your comment on our recent video and was afraid we upset you by not shouting you out. No, I'm not really upset. Just thought it was scummy. Would it make things right if I linked your channel in our description and have Zan shout you out during his next stream? Or were you upset we used your content and want it cut out? I hope you're not angry with us. That comment rubbed me the wrong way because, like, where's the, you know, hey, sorry we didn't shout you out. Let us go give you credit. That's all you had to do. And there was no responsibility. And like, this isn't just a me thing, right? I would hope that Xan shouts anybody out, any small creator, when they play their stuff. Because, like, that's a help to us. And it's the courteous thing to do. So I explained my position. As a leftist, I would never play someone else's video without crediting them. Granted, it says my name on there, but you can see that the video has like 2 likes on TikTok. A dude with almost 90K subs apparently played my video twice and never gave me credit, and is apparently a leftist, you know, collectivism. That's how we accomplish things. I'm not, and this is, I run into this in creative fields, so there's a lot of big egos, there's a lot of professional jealousy. I'm very comfortable with my talent. And I feel I want to be surrounded by the best people I possibly can. I'm not intimidated by people that are more talented than me, and I want to harness people that are more talented than me. But there is a lot of professional jealousy in the entertainment influence. I come from entertainment. I come from TV and radio. I have not been doing streaming long, and I've told this story before, and it's because I was in television and radio. I thought it was below me. I thought I was a real broadcaster, and that streaming was below me. Boy, was I wrong. I see now that like the digital space is where it's at. That's where it's going. Radio and television isn't even going to exist. This is real radio and television now. I was stupid for not adopting it back in 2013, 2014. And when I got kicked off my college radio station in 2013, everyone fucking told me, go start a podcast, go do that. And I should have. But I thought it was below me. Just like when my girlfriend said she wanted to do online porn, I thought it was below us. No. That could hurt our credibility. Getting a job later. Boy, was I wrong. So that's why I'm kind of new to the game. I'm playing catch up, and I'm existing in a time where organic reach is not really a thing. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, they want you to pay to push your shit. And I don't play the game. This video's probably already been demonetized. But I just, like, not shouting me out. It's just kind of scummy. Part of the reason why I got the golden microphone was because of Rush Limbaugh, too. So Cherry responds, I reached out to try to make things right. I'll just remove it from our videos then. To which I'm like, wow. Because Cherry is well aware that, you know, my video existing there is better for me than it not existing there. And all I wanted was the acknowledgement. I didn't even want Xan to shout me out. I want to make that perfectly clear. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. I was not expecting to get a shout out. I just thought it was scummy that he didn't do it at the time. I wasn't expecting to be tagged on YouTube and given a special shout out. Just credit the content creator when you use their shit. It's just a courtesy. And I'm still not getting that, you know, you're not going to fuck somebody else over in the future on that. Then Cherry says, what? You called us scummy for playing it. You clearly are unhappy, so I'm removing it. You're unhappy we played your TikTok, so I'll take it down from our videos. No, I called you scummy for not shouting me out, and you know it. Then what do you want? And you know it would hurt me more if you take it out. You are clearly not into elevating other creators. Cherry responds back, you're being an asshole when I tried to make things right. I asked you directly what you wanted. You didn't answer. But I feel like you're purposely misrepresenting what I said. I shouldn't have to ask for credit. Cherry says, I was asking directly what you wanted. Usually adults answer direct questions. Wow. Because, like, I feel like I am being talked down to. From, like, the moment this Cherry person messages me, I feel like they are being condescending to me. I'm not upset. This is like a right-wing tactic to be like, oh, you're triggered. Oh, you're mad. Usually if someone doesn't like the video being played, they want it removed, so that's what I offered. You seem pretty upset to me, considering you're getting really angry when I tried being nice to you. I don't think you ever tried being nice to me, Cherry. I'm sorry if I took what you said the wrong way. Perhaps this is a miscommunication. And I apologize if that is the case. But you really seem to come at me from the beginning. I didn't say that I didn't like it being played. I said I didn't like not being shouted out. Give them credit. Okay, so now I'm asking. You haven't been nice to me. Do you want a shout out? No, I don't want anything from you or him. Have a nice day. Cool, I'll remove your TikTok from our videos now. Let me give you some advice. If you want to make friends with other creators, treating them with the respect you want is a good idea. Oh, I'm supposed to bow down in deference to the bigger creator. Oh, please, Mr. Xanderhal. Can I please have a crumb of influencer? I'm in shock at the self-righteousness. And once again, Cherry, if I am misinterpreting this, I'm sorry. But seriously, you came across as an absolute prick. And you guys were the first infraction. All I wanted was credit for my work. So then I said, cool, I usually don't start fights with other leftists, but I guess I'll clout chase off of this. Respect is shouting out people when you use their content. He's like, you're condescending to me. I wasn't. I explained my position. I don't feel that I ever talked down to you. Once again, I'm sorry if it came across that way. Also, good job admitting you're just looking for to clout shark and don't actually care about any of this. No, I really don't care. Like, I'm going to use it to clout shark now. Because I'm a troll. And that's what I do, right?
Hey, Justin, are you trolling?
Just an acknowledgement was all I really wanted. Terry says, I saw a problem, I tried addressing it and communicating with you, then you got mad at me for wanting to help. Once again, I never got mad, I explained my position. Also, you said I was going to remove the videos to make you upset, and that's very standard. And oh, Jesus! So once again, I try to end the conversation. I'm just like, have a good one. But it keeps going. You don't actually care about getting credit, you just wanted to throw a fit in my DMs. I'm not the one that sent the first message. I'm not throwing a fit. I'm trying to point out the scummy thing you did. Do better. I never got mad. I explained my position. So next, does it seem like I'm upset? Jesus, have a good one. Have fun making your call out post or whatever. I'll remove the videos. Sorry we didn't ask your permission. Won't happen again. And Def, glad to know you're someone to avoid. So I did. I actually messaged them back and was kind of condescending about it. And said that I would love a shout out. Thank you so much. And perhaps a conversation sometime. Thank you for being so magnanimous. I don't think I'm upset about it. If you want to call what me being animated upset, fine. Go for it. It's a scummy thing to do. If you want to call that being upset, that I like calling people out. And I felt it was just a scummy thing to do. And if they'll do it to me, they'll do it to other creators. Is my ego involved in saying that? Probably. But also, I do care about lifting up the community. So I did actually get my shout out. Cherry messaged me and let me know when Zan gave me a shout out, and I can't fucking believe it. The motherfucker even gets my name wrong.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey guys, you know the guy that I showed recently who did the coverage of Matt Walsh? I showed his clip a couple times. He did the coverage of Matt Walsh hosting the like grown men at diaper Nazi fights. His channel name is JustinFREAKIN, and he wanted to get a shout out. So I'm going.
And I wanted to get a shout out. Not that he was in the wrong for not giving credit originally. No. That I had to come to him and beg for a shout out. So once again, Zan, if this is a whole big miscommunication, I apologize. You seem like a dick, dude. What the fuck? Why would you do a smaller content creator like this? I'm just stunned. Yeah, thank you for the shout out. Thank you to the 4 people who subscribed after you shouted me out. I appreciate it, homie. Such a big help. You guys ready to find out what that news be doing? I guess I'm upset. You guys keep me honest, though. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't really think it was incoherent. John, my friend. No, I wanted credit. I wanted credit when the video was shown, and I would like Zan to make sure that when he shows smaller content creators, that he gives credit to them. I did not expect him to go and put my YouTube channel in his video. I didn't expect him to give me a shout out on stream, and it was also very it was also kind of self-righteous to be like, oh, Justin wanted a shout out, so go subscribe to his channel. No, it's not about permission. I'm not asking for permission. I play people's videos all the time on this show. It's not about they're out there on YouTube. They're fair game. Especially if you do reaction content. It's not about asking permission. I don't give a shit. Play my videos. That's what they're there for, to be played, to be viewed. But he, as a bigger content creator, should have been like, hey, thanks JustinFREAKIN for doing this clip for us. That's all. And I would have had no problem with him whatsoever. And I still really don't have a problem with him. I don't like the way I was talked to by this Cherry person. And I told them to go fuck themselves later. So it was a scummy thing, and the way they handled it was scummy. So, and if it's a miscommunication, bro, Zan, come on and talk to me, or have me on your stream sometime. Or if you want to banter back and forth, you want to have a debate, we can do that as well. It can be contentious, or it can be a finding common ground kind of stream. Either way, I'm open. Or hey, maybe we just move on and neither of us thinks about each other ever again. I hope you at least subscribe to my fucking TikTok, dude. Yeah, bro, did you share my video out to your followers on TikTok? That would be a help. because I'm still 400 away, 450 away from being able to go live on TikTok. Fair enough, DJ. I'm open to the idea that I handled the situation wrong, because I do that a lot, and I misinterpret people's comments. I've got a touch of the narcissism. You have to have it to be in this business. So it's possible I took something completely the wrong way. However, I feel like they made a mistake and they never owned up to making a mistake. And going forward, I would like them to treat smaller content creators better. Like, just share. Did he share my video out to his TikTok followers? If you appreciated my video that much that you played it twice on your stream, did you share it out to your TikTok followers? If I had a platform like that, I would do my best to elevate other people. It's just, it was scummy. And supposedly we're leftists and we believe in coming together collectively to solve issues, to wield power. Forgotten is one thing, but like, it doesn't seem like this is a common practice for him. And it's just, and there is like, maybe my pride is hurt a little bit. Because he's much bigger than I am, and to be honest, I feel like I put in a hell of a lot more work in what I do than he does. So, okay, I was upset. I'll admit it. Maybe Justin needs to learn to feel embarrassment. All right, seriously. I always make the promise to start the news by 20 minutes in, and we're way past that now. So, starting off tonight, I don't even know how to say it. I've only read news stories about it so far. Let me take it. You know how horrible I am with names. Is it Idalia? Tropical. It's not a hurricane yet, but I think it will be. It's going to hit hurricane status once it gets to the Gulf Coast. Tropical storm Idalia? What the fuck kind of a name is that for a hurricane?
Atlanta News First starts now with First Alert Weather.
Now at 3, thousands bracing for what's expected to become a dangerous hurricane. Tropical storm Idalia is strengthening, targeting Florida, but the
Idalia.
impacts will be felt right here in Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp has already ordered the State of Operations Center to be activated ahead of Idalia. Good afternoon, I'm Carly Barnett.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. Right now, our state is getting ready for any impacts caused by Idalia as a hurricane warning is issued for parts of Florida. Let's take you there. A live look right now over Marco Island, Florida, about 30 minutes south of Naples, not far from Fort Myers. You can see that gloomy sky off in the distance, the beach nearly empty. The waves look pretty decent so far, but right now, thousands are getting ready for the storm. Officials there say residents need to be ready for evacuation orders and power outages as Tropical Storm Idalia approaches. It is expected to strike the Gulf Coast tomorrow. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is extending his state of emergency order to cover 46 counties.
There really doesn't seem anything to prevent it from continuing to strengthen. This is going to be a major impact, and Floridians should expect that this storm will be a major Cat 3 plus hurricane.
Governor DeSantis says tankers are bringing extra fuel to Central Florida. Parts of the southeast here in Georgia are likely to feel some impacts later this week.
I feel like we've already been getting some of the storms off of it. All the way up here, we had a hell of a storm the other night. What, last night? Yes. Right before the stream. Since they brought up Ron DeSantis, let's go ahead and talk about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis booed at an event where he was giving remarks. I don't even know if he was in Florida. He's out there on the campaign trail. I don't know if he's in Florida right now. Gave remarks on the neo-Nazi shooting up the Dollar General the other day.
Thank you for doing this. I want to just say,
Okay, it says it was at a vigil, so I guess he is in Florida. He's back in Florida for this.
Councilwoman, I got you. Don't worry about it. We've already been looking to identify funds to be able to help one, make sure there's adequate security for Edward Waters College. We are not going to allow these institutions to be targeted by people.
Just know that the state of Florida stands with the community. Help is on the way. God bless you all.
Thank you, Meatball. Just know that that is not the only shithead you're going to see get booed tonight. Ron DeSantis speaking about the shooting that happened over the weekend, but, you know, it's just another day. On to the next one. Luckily, I believe only one person died. What a sad state of affairs in this country. You have to be, luckily only one person died in the shooting. UNC Chapel Hill. The city of Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Suspect in this shooting. Let's go to Mark. Mark, what can you show us?
Gerald, this photograph just coming into the live center is believed to be the suspect in this case, the arrest photo. The first time we're seeing it right here. The suspect with his legs folded there and possibly the handcuffs behind his back. This is Tyler Chi, we believe. That is the suspect in this case. This is the grad school photograph that's on UNC's website. This is the photograph taken about a mile or so away from campus. This situation unfolded on UNC Chapel Hill's main campus. So that is on the map here. Let me put this down. Here's the campus, right? So follow me on this map. There's the football stadium. And when we zoom in, we're going to take you exactly to that location, 728 Williams Circle. This is a residential community. There are some apartments around there. This is the location where police apparently got that tip and then went in and made that arrest. So right now, this is the first time we're seeing this photograph. Police have not told us directly this is the shooter in this case, but we have independently confirmed.
Good evening, Ray.
That the shooter is in custody, A, and B, this photograph is in fact Tyler Chi.
You got here just in time for the news. I've been ranting about a beef I've got. This is what, the second news story we're doing?
From involved in that shooting this afternoon. Quite a large scene happening still at Chapel Hill. That lockdown has not been lifted, even though the suspect has been.
Justin, good evening. Simp.
We are told they currently are sweeping the buildings, making sure that there are no more other suspects. There's been no indication of that, and they have all the evidence that they need. Before we go back.
Man, when the last TV station I worked at, the weatherman got a touch screen. While I was like, and he could zoom in and do that shit. And he was so giddy about that. Like he got a whole new graphics package. I think I've told this story, like Prince died while I was working at that station, and I told him to turn the rain clouds purple. And he's like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I know you know. I know it's possible in that graphics package. And the motherfucker didn't do it. Another station did do it, and they went viral over it. I was like, see?
Back to the desk, I just want to double check there are no more updates from UNC police here. Nope, the last update was 27 minutes ago. So as soon as there is some new information, we will bring it to you here. This is quite the breaking situation still unfolding right now at 3:42.
All right, Kip.
So This is the latest information I can see from a local source. It appears that one faculty member was killed. It doesn't have any details about any additional victims, and the all clear was issued on UNC's campus at around 4:30 p.m. I did find this news hit, talking to some of the students, getting their reaction in the immediate aftermath.
From UNC Chapel Hill, Carrie, you have more students behind you. We'll give them a chance to speak.
Yeah, Devontae, I'm standing here with two freshmen who were part of that big group that you probably saw earlier as they were evacuating the Union, the pit area. As we know, we've learned a lot about just this area. So I want to just talk to these ladies here. Can you tell me your names?
Brielle. Ella.
Okay, Brielle and Ella, what a Monday. I mean, you just started classes last week.
Another case of the Mondays.
Through where you all were when you got that initial alert around 1 o'clock.
We were actually getting Bojangles, and we got a big alert on our phones, and everyone just started freaking out. We all got rushed into a room. We thought we were okay for a second. Employees came in and told us we all had to get into a room, shut the lights off, locked all the doors, and we were stuck there for a few hours.
Yeah. And what was going through your mind during that time? I mean, like you said, you just went through the doors to get some chicken, to get some Bojangles, and clearly that's not what happened today.
Right. I mean, I think I didn't really take anything as serious until I saw them, barring the door, locking the door, telling us to get in the room. We were all in the dark, kind of sitting there. We sat there for a long time. Yeah, that's when I started getting a little scared and stuff like that. I was just watching. We were watching the news live to see any updates and stuff like that. Yeah, it was super scary.
Yeah, it's really close by too. It's where I was like freaking out a little bit because our campus is so open, it's easily accessible to like anyone really, so that's what was kind of scary about it. You don't really know.
And like you said, I think what really just adds something to this picture right now is the fact that you both are freshmen. I mean, you're still learning about UNC, you're still learning about this area, you're still learning about the pit. So tell me how this, I don't want to say stains, but how does this affect, your college experience right now?
I mean, on the way to find something to eat, we were still trying to figure out where the Bojangles was.
That's very true.
So that's kind of, we're still new here, but honestly, this could happen anywhere. But definitely
it does.
Just because of how scary it was.
Yeah, it can definitely happen anywhere. It's not just us, but you kind of just think to yourself that it just wouldn't happen to you, and then it does. So it's weird. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, weird is definitely the word. And we've also seen a lot of people, contact.
I think weird is an understatement.
Friends. I know we spoke to a lot of people just making sure.
A grad student. This fits the motif of like the Virginia Tech shooter back in 2006, 2007. He also was a grad student. I would assume that profile is a loner. Didn't really integrate well into the college community. Yeah, there was static in the news audio. Usually that would be caused by a loose connection in a lav mic, but she was using a handheld. If I had to guess, it was probably the receiver for that handheld. It did seem to change when she was moving her microphone around, so I don't know. They were on the scene right after a shooting and a lockdown, so can't really hold it against them. From North Crackalacky to South Crackalacky, and another fucking shooting. This one is tragic. You heard those freshmen talk about being new to the campus, not even able to find the Bojangles. Here we have the story of a junior who just moved into a new house, apparently on a street with several houses that all look alike.
you think you're going to be safe sending your kid off, and you're so excited sending your kid to school, and then something like this happens.
For Kate Reynolds, Saturday was a day of reflection and confusion, trying to make sense of the deadly shooting of a USC student in her neighborhood. She lives just a few doors down from the home in which Nicholas Anthony Donofrio was shot and killed early Saturday morning. According to the Columbia Police Department, they were called to the scene of a burglary, and while en route, that call was upgraded to a shots fired call. When emergency crews arrived, they found Donofrio dead with a gunshot wound to the upper body. The agency adds that early investigations indicate that Donofrio, who lives on Holly Street, attempted to enter the wrong home when he was fatally shot. Neighbors say the street was covered in police cars and fire trucks surrounding a home on Holly Street following the shooting. Reynolds says it's a tragedy someone so young would be taken away like this.
Not how you want to start college, too. It's something that's going to be traumatic, and you're going to have those memories of your friend, and the whole experience is kind of tainted with that too.
USC sent a statement to News 19 that reads in part, "Our student affairs team is providing resources and support to those who may be affected by this tragedy, and we remind all our students that help is always available to them." Reynolds has lived in Rosewood for 15 years and says she's worried about the future following a deadly incident like this.
Because you don't know what you're going to encounter, and so I hate to hear that somebody even in the neighborhood, because this is usually such a more welcoming, helpful neighborhood than that.
The Columbia Police Department says they're still investigating and working with the Fifth Circuit Solicitor's Office regarding this case. Reporting in Columbia, Nate Stanley, News 19, WLTX.
Yeah, the Donofrio kid, or Donofrio as they were saying it, 20 years old, a junior at USC. Apparently just came home, was probably drunk. It was a Saturday night. I first weekend back at school, probably out partying. Apparently all the houses look alike. We have a gun problem in this country. If that homeowner wasn't armed, this wouldn't happen. And I'm sorry, and people, what if it was a burglar? The odds of it being a burglar are far less than the odds of it just being a mistake. All in all, crime is actually not all that likely. You are safer now than you have ever been in the history of the world. I know we have a media, and I guess I'm guilty of it as well. I sit here and do the absolute worst stories on the internet every night. But it's because of access to the media that we hear about these horrific stories. Yes, call 911. Usually don't call the cop. Unfortunately, in this country, calling 911 can also be a death sentence. But in a perfect world, you would call 911 and they would deal with it. I saw reports that said that the kid tried to kick the door down. I find that hard to believe. That sounds to me like a homeowner who was, exaggerating the situation they were in when they were scared. And cool, like it's understandable that you're scared. If somebody is outside of your door, remember, this kid probably thinks it was his own home. And he's like trying to get the key to fit. So he's jiggling the door and shit. And he's drunk. He's probably being loud about it. Might even can't get the key in. He kicked the door or something. That's probably the more likely scenario. There's too many goddamn guns. That's all there is. I'm sorry. Oh, and I didn't hit this one when we were doing the school shooting earlier. The grad student, you should have took my advice. Made everybody a lot happier, including yourself. Lonely, can't fit in, try drugs. I promise you, become a drug user and you will find crowds of people to hang out with. And you have that in common, doing drugs. That's all you need. If you are a loner incel, try drugs. Don't go shoot up the place. Just try drugs. You'll feel so much better about yourself. You'll feel so much better about life. And then people won't get unalived. I won't have to get on here and bitch about how it's just another day in mass shooting USA. Good evening, Shelley. So we can focus on more important issues, more pressing issues, like the fact that it's just another day in racist USA. He became the first black mayor of a rural Alabama town. Then a white minority locked him out. For years, the mayor in Newborn was appointed, not elected. When Patrick Braxton won the election, the outgoing mayor and his cronies refused to accept it. In November of 2020, Patrick Braxton, a volunteer firefighter and a contractor from New Bern, Alabama, was elected mayor of the 133-person town. He wanted to have a peaceful and timely transfer of power, so he repeatedly attempted to contact the town's previous mayor, Haywood Woody Stokes III. I hate to judge a book by its cover and a dude by his name, but that's a racist name if I've ever heard one. Haywood Woody Stokes III. Braxton, who is black, decided to go to the town hall and talk to Stokes, who is white. He told Stokes that he would need a key to the town hall to begin his duties. Stokes acquiesced and gave him a key, but when Braxton entered the building, he found that town hall had been stripped of its records, beyond a couple of boxes of discarded items that looked like trash. He also said he noticed that Stokes had given keys to friends of his, people who were not council members and had no official business with the city, who were walking in and out of the building. So Braxton changed the locks. He and his appointed city council held their first town meeting. Shortly thereafter, Stokes changed the locks again, locking the new mayor out of the town hall and effectively preventing him and his council from serving their duties. The Battle of the Locks was part of a long power struggle that started earlier that year when Braxton won the first mayoral election in the town in over a century. Braxton's decision to run for mayor upended a decades-long political system of entrenched disenfranchisement and effective mayoral dictatorship. For decades, mayors had been appointed, not elected. Braxton's campaign triggered the first election in recent history and made him the first black mayor since the town was established 169 years ago. Noise. From the day he was sworn in until now, nearly 3 years later, Stokes and his cronies have refused to acknowledge Braxton's legitimacy as mayor, going so far as to prevent him from accessing city mail-in funds. Earlier this year, Braxton and his 4 appointed city council members filed. This has been a rough story. I love it though. This is the Guardian. So unlike the U.S. media, it is not written on a 3rd grade level, more like an 8th grade level. From the day he was sworn in until now, nearly 3 years later, Stokes and his cronies have refused to acknowledge Braxton's legitimacy as mayor, going so far as to prevent him from accessing city mail-in funds. Earlier this year, Braxton and his 4 appointed city council members filed a lawsuit against Stokes and his city council, alleging that the former mayor and his allies violated federal civil rights law by preventing Braxton from acting as mayor. They're so stuck in their ways and don't want nothing else for the town. They just want it to stay the same, Braxton said. I hope they break and just go ahead and release everything to me. If not, we'll just go to court. New Bern was incorporated in 1854, the year the town held its first election. New Bern quickly developed into a cotton economy fueled by slave labor. In the century following the Civil War, the town's economy collapsed. By the 1950s, the cotton industry had become mechanized and made much human labor obsolete, leading to a lack of jobs and a dip in New Bern's population. In the nearly 2 centuries since the town's founding, it has retained 2 aspects of its early days. It has a majority black population with, until Braxton, a majority white leadership. New Bern is about 80% black and 20% white. Until Braxton appointed the 4 members of his city council, there had only been 1 black city council member. I hope the Justice Department steps in, because that does indeed sound like a federal civil rights violation. If you'd like to finish reading the story, head on over to The Guardian. The link is in the chat. You guys like art, don't you? A new piece of art has been painted in the city of Atlanta. Check out this mural. MAGA. My ass got arrested. A pretty good job. Mad props to the artist that did that. Looks like Cavill. Fine piece of artwork in downtown Atlanta. I hope Trump gets to see it the next time he rides down for his court date, which is, forgot, there's multiple court dates I need to tell you about. Trump will be heading downtown to Atlanta again for his arraignment on September 6th. We will once again be doing a stream to celebrate Trump's arraignment on that day. I learned last week that Georgia is one of the few municipalities that does not do booking and arraignment together. That is why Trump did not enter a plea last week when he was booked. All 19 of the defendants in the case will be arraigned on September 6th. Meanwhile, a federal judge has set a trial date for Trump's 2020 election interference case.
Prosecutors didn't get exactly what they wanted in Monday's hearing, but they came close. Instead of starting in January,
it's unrealistic, it's theatrics.
The trial that will decide whether former President Donald Trump is guilty of conspiring to overturn the results of the 2020 election is now set to begin in March.
Venus, good evening.
Said she did try to take into account the trial dates in all of Trump's other legal cases. Trump's lawyers wanted a trial date in 2026, long after the next presidential election. But now their client will be facing a jury just one day before the Republican Super Tuesday presidential primary.
You don't have to prep much when you've done nothing wrong. So that I'm not concerned with.
The judge said she would not take personal obligations like Trump's campaign schedule.
Ma'am, I hate to inform you. This man has broken all the laws, not just the crimes he's been charged with. He's broken like all the laws.
Into account, adding that the trial of a professional athlete wouldn't depend on their game schedule. Trump continues to be the frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination, but rival Chris Christie warns his party against continued support for Trump.
We can't have a convicted felon as our nominee for president and expect we're going to win.
I mean, even if he's not a convicted felon, you're not going to win. Matt Gaetz is actually moving to censure. He's been blowing smoke about it for a while now. But apparently in the wake of the March trial date, Gates is pushing to censure Judge Chutkan. U.S. Judge Tanya Chutkan ruled this Monday that former President Donald Trump's trial for his alleged crimes related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election will occur on March 4th, one day before Super Tuesday. One day before Trump is almost certainly going to clinch the nomination. Purgatoris, good evening. Chutkan's ruling will force Trump to stand trial in at least 3 separate criminal cases during one of the most crucial periods in the GOP nominating process. Among those crowning foul was Florida GOP Representative Matt Gaetz, who took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to call Chutkan a political operative in a robe. We should set her censure for a vote ASAP to expose this sham and restore our republic. According to reports, Chutkan is a former public defender who was appointed in 2014 by then-President Obama after she did volunteer work for his campaign. She has been the toughest sentencing judge on the D.C. federal court for the January 6 defendants, according to a Washington Post database. She has exceeded prosecutors' sentencing recommendations 9 times and granted them 14 times. Politically, good evening. Welcome in. One of Trump's co-defendants in Georgia, who I'm pretty sure has flipped on the federal level. Well, apparently there was something wrong with the reporting from Fox 5 Atlanta because that video has been taken down. Allow me to go find a new one. We are going to be talking about Mark Meadows and his need to move his case to federal court. And this law expert apparently says it's a risky strategy.
Developing tonight, the Mark Meadows legal team is deploying what some legal experts consider a risky strategy, putting their...
Hey, wait, who's fucking who? What?
You live in sexual anarchy?
Client, the former White House chief of staff, on the stand to testify about what he did after the 2020 election.
Fox 5 IT reporter Randy Travis was there for Meadows' testimony.
Randy Travis?
He is live outside the federal building.
Is he going to tell us, here's a quarter, call someone who cares? That's going to be his report. Back to you, Chris.
In downtown Atlanta. So what happened today, Randy?
That's not Randy Travis.
Christina Rush, yeah, Mark Meadows really does not want to be tried in the Fulton County Courthouse. He doesn't want to even be tried at all. That's why he spent all...
That was Travis Tritt, wasn't it? I'm not a country fan. I got Randy Travis confused with Travis Tritt, didn't I?
Day here at the federal building, arguing that...
Fucked up my own joke.
...doing in the indictment, he did as a federal officer, and that way he should not be tried in a state courthouse. Now, I'll tell you more about his testimony in just a minute. The third and final witness today was Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. He was questioned about that January 2nd, 2021 call when Donald Trump asked him to find enough votes so he could win Georgia. Did he think he was talking to federal officers, he was asked. No, Raffensperger said, I thought I was talking to the Trump campaign. Now, Meadows set up that call. He told the court his job was so broad, everything he did was political in some way.
Likely story.
At first, no one was sure former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows would even attend the hearing. Instead, he did even more, answering questions from his attorneys and prosecutors about decisions that now have him indicted.
He admitted to every single thing alleged against him in the indictment today.
So does that do him a disservice?
Yes.
Meadows testified...
his strategy is to try to move it to the federal court because he has a deal. He has a deal with Jack Smith. It's almost certain he has a deal with Jack Smith. So if he can get it out of state court, he's golden. Poor guy. What do you got, chat? Was it a real beef or was it not a real beef? I don't know. I'll put the clip up just as soon as we get off stream.
Repeatedly that he was acting under the...
Good evening, Porg.
officer when he tried to get Georgia officials to retract their belief that Joe Biden was the lawful winner.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. President, everybody is on the line, and just so this is Mark Meadows, the Chief of Staff.
Meadows even arranged that key phone call between Donald Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger.
Mr. Secretary, I was hopeful that, in a spirit of cooperation and compromises, there's something that we can at least have a discussion to look at some of these allegations to find a path forward that's less litigious.
Meadows wants U.S. District Judge Steve Jones to dismiss the 2 felony counts he faces in Fulton County, or at the very least, move the state case to federal court, where the jury pool would come from multiple counties, not just Fulton, where Biden won 73% of the vote. But prosecutors called his request meritless and futile, pointing out he texted investigator Frances Watson December 27, 2020, asking if she could speed up her work if the Trump campaign assists financially. He also traveled to Cobb County, hoping to witness a signature match audit.
The trip to Cobb County, he says that was all his idea. He was in Atlanta visiting his kids, and he just thought it would be a good idea to go up there with his whole Secret Service group and see what was going on.
Did that seem believable to you?
No.
Judge Jones did not rule on that motion today. Remember, there are 4 other defendants and perhaps others in addition to those 4 who are asking to move their cases from the state court to the federal court. No matter what Judge Jones decides, though, it's certain that his decision will be appealed to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals here in Atlanta and perhaps ultimately to the U.S. Supreme Court. Russ, Christine, back to you.
Well, Randy, time is of the essence here. So once the judge hears all the testimony and digests all the information, do you know how soon there could be a decision?
I'm not quite sure, Christine. I mean, the arraignments are now scheduled for the first week in September, so ideally he makes a decision before that, before Mark Meadows has to appear before a Fulton County Superior Court judge to be arraigned on that indictment.
All right, Randy Travis reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Randy, so much. The date has been set for the next step in the Fulton County case against the former president and his 18 co-defendants. The plea and arraignment date is Wednesday, September 6th. The former president is the first on the docket with a 9:30 arraignment. Misty Hampton is the last on the docket at 3 p.m.
Well, I guess we're doing an all-day stream, aren't we? Because remember, these are going to be televised. Let's keep it in Atlanta, shall we? Let's talk about the Cop City protesters. I have not given them enough attention. Threatened and vulnerable, Cop City activists labeled as terrorists pay a high price. Protesters say classification as domestic terrorists for opposing planned Georgia police facility has upended their lives. I bet. And where are all the right-wingers talking about the weaponization of government? Huh? Where are all the right-wingers that are the First Amendment advocates standing up for the protesters against Cop City? Before boarding a flight from San Francisco to New York last month, Luke Lucky Harper was pulled aside and subjected to a search of his body and his belongings in front of other passengers waiting to board. The experience would have been even more upsetting if it wasn't the third time in several weeks. Harper was also searched in airports in Nashville and Salt Lake City. His name was called out on a loudspeaker. Officials swabbed his hands, seeking traces of explosives. He's a smoky. The 27-year-old aspiring rider had recently been released from jail in DeKalb County after being arrested on state domestic terrorism charges at a music festival on March the 5th. He is one of 42 people facing the same charges in Georgia in connection with continuing protests against a planned police and fire department training center known as Cop City. Another dozen or so people have been arrested and charged with felony stalking of a police officer. This is after handing out flyers. And they were charged with money laundering, among other charges. Some were jailed in solitary confinement for days without explanation. Although nearly a year has passed since the earliest arrests, no one has been indicted. The terrorism charges have been denounced as part of a broader attempt to smear protesters as national security threats in a letter by Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and other groups. As with Harper, the lives of the arrestees have been upended. Some have lost jobs or been barred from attending school. Most are living with the psychological impacts of the criminal justice system being wielded against them, with little to no publicly released evidence of having committed any crimes. At least 13 of them have posted fundraisers online to help with everything from housing to mental health. I'm going to hit you with the fundraisers in the chat. Also, if you would like to read the rest of this story, boom. The article from The Guardian and the links to the fundraisers are in chat. We are going to head to San Francisco, where this bakery should change its name to the Based Bakery. A San Francisco bakery is refusing to serve police officers. A popular street food restaurant and bakery chain will not serve police. Spokesperson from the San Francisco Police Officers Association shared a Twitter post claiming that Reams, California refused to serve a cop last weekend as part of their company policy, "No cops allowed," in big bold letters. I believe the sign is pretty clear, isn't it? No cops allowed. That's the confirmed policy of the bakery chain Reams, the tweet read. One of our officers was denied service last weekend because he was in uniform. Reams confirms that they will not serve anyone armed and in uniform. Presumably, this includes members of the U.S. military. In a follow-up post, the association added, "We are not asking Reams or any business with a bigoted..." That is not what bigoted means. You're not asking Reams. That is not what bigoted means. You're not asking Reams or any business with a bigoted policy to serve our officers. We're asking them to own their discriminatory policy, put up a sign so we know not to spend money in your establishment on or off duty. We're not asking Reams or any business. Oh, it's the same. In a statement to San Francisco Gate, a spokesperson from Reams said the company has a deep commitment to uplifting social and racial justice in their communities. This includes fostering an environment of safety for our staff and customers. In a time of increased gun violence, particularly impacting people of color, youth, and queer people, we believe that maintaining a strict policy of prohibiting guns in our restaurant keeps us safer. So it doesn't even look like they had a policy against cops. Looks like they just have a policy against being armed in their establishment, which is totally their right. The local Arab company added many members of the... Okay, fair enough, Tones. It's bigoted against split-hooved animals. Sparkles asked me what hog dancing was the other day. Messaged me and said, "Do you know what hog dancing is?" And I was like, "Is that a policeman's ball?" Apparently, she's talking to some dude. Line dancing is what he meant. Line dancing, not hog dancing. She later confirmed line dancing was what he meant. Many members of our community have been impacted by gun violence, whether that be an experience on the streets of San Francisco or Oakland, having come from war or occupation, or having increased fear due to a growing climate of political extremism. All too often, black and brown people and poor people are the victims of this violence. At Reams, we aim to provide a space where people can eat delicious Arab food. Arab food is delicious. Oh my God. Give me a fucking kebab. Can eat delicious Arab food and work together to strengthen our community without fear of violence or harassment. We invite our community to step up and join us in creating that culture of care and resilience. Don't forget, I have an awesome shirt up on the Freak store. I don't do a good job of promoting my shit. We have the Chris Dorner Appreciation Society's t-shirt up on the Freak store. And ACAB means Border Patrol as well. Was this even Border Patrol? Apparently it was a U.S. soldier in Texas wound a man in a cross-border shooting. It was a National Guard member, a Texas National Guard member, shot and wounded a man along the Rio Grande in El Paso. By the way, Purgatorius. That was our very first story, and I tried to pronounce the name of the storm without Idalia. I called it Idalia, like a redneck. I'd only read about it. I hadn't heard anybody say it. Last night, I was naming off racially motivated shootings, and I said Santa Fe. I meant El Paso. It was an El Paso Walmart. A Texas National Guard member shot and wounded a man along the Rio Grande in the El Paso area Saturday evening, firing across the border into Mexican territory, according to U.S. officials with knowledge of the shooting, who spoke on the condition of anonymity. The soldier was deployed as part of Operation Lone Star, the border security mobilization directed by Governor Greg Abbott that has lined the Rio Grande with U.S. troops. Concertina wire? I've never seen this word before. Let's find out what it means. It's like a what? So concertina wire or Dannert wire is a type of barbed wire or razor wire formed in large coils. Did I say it right? Oh, it's like piano wire, but with razor blades. Concertino.
Concertina.
Concertina. Concertina.
Concertina. Concertina.
The word of the day is concertina. I like learning shit. I'm fucking almost 40 years old and I still like to learn new words. Concertina wire and other impediments in an effort to reduce illegal crossings. The Texas Military Department, which oversees the National Guard, said on Monday that a soldier at the border had discharged a weapon and that the incident was under investigation. More information will be made available as the investigation progresses, the department said in a statement. Erica Miller, a spokeswoman for the Texas Department of Public Safety, said the shooting is also being investigated by the Texas Rangers, the state's investigative police agency. Constantine wire? Is this a thing? Let's find out. Maybe it was a misspelling, because Google is telling us concert. I give up. I give up. That Konstantin Kalimnik guy. Apparently, he's a comedian. I read that the comedian Konstantin Kalimnik. And I'm like, he's a comedian? When's he said anything that was funny? We watched his whole 10-minute speech at Oxford, and he didn't say shit that was funny. Do you guys remember Joe the Plumber? That's a blast from the past. Joe the Plumber, the Republican activist Samuel Joseph Wurzelbacher, apparently died in Wisconsin today. If I remember correctly, he ended up not even being a plumber. Venus, I was with Joe Rogan once upon a time. I watched his early stand-up. I know about flying pussy squirrels. What happened to you, Joe Rogan? Well, technically, Joseph was his middle name. Samuel Joe Wurzelbacher, who was thrust into the political spotlight as Joe the Plumber after questioning Barack Obama about his economic policies during the 2008 presidential campaign. Something about, he questioned about his plumbing business that he didn't actually own. He didn't actually own a plumbing business. His oldest son, Joey Wurzelbacher, said his father died on Sunday in Wisconsin after a long illness. His family announced this year an online fundraising site that he had pancreatic cancer. Sorry, dude, I hate to see anybody die. The only thing I have to say is that he was a true patriot. I doubt that. His big things is that everyone come to God. Well, he came to God now, didn't he? Ha ha ha. That's what he taught me, and that's a message I hope is heard by a lot of people. He went from toiling as a plumber in suburban Toledo, Ohio, to a life as a social media sensation when he asked Obama about his tax plan during a campaign stop. Their exchange and Obama's response that he wanted to spread the wealth around aired often on cable news. Days later, Obama's Republican opponent, Senator John McCain, repeatedly cited Joe the Plumber in a presidential debate. Wurzelbacher went on to campaign with McCain and his running mate, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, but he later criticized McCain in his book and said he did not want him as the GOP presidential nominee. So, sorry, Joey, for your dad dying. I am not going to celebrate his death. I'm not above celebrating deaths. When Henry Kissinger dies, we will have a celebration. We have celebrated many people dying on this stream, but Joe the Plumber was just a misguided asshole. He probably had people that loved him and redeeming qualities, so I'm not going to revel in his death. Bob Barker, however, was a serial sexual harasser, and he can go fuck himself. Am I the only one that remembers? Sued multiple times by the Barker's beauties. One time was even for false imprisonment. Sorry. Quesadilla! Joe the Plumber, the original rich man from Richmond. Or the original idiot talking about the rich men north of Richmond. Obama wasn't even that wealthy when he took office. I love that they all like to talk about rich politicians. But the Democrat now, you start comparing Senate wealth. And there are several Democrats that you're like, how'd you get that fucking rich? But like Obama wasn't even that wealthy when he took office. I think he had made his first million off of the Audacity of Hope or something right before he took office. Joe Biden, I think, is worth less than $10 million. Mortgaged his house to send his daughter to college. So, you know, I'm no fan of Joe Biden or Obama, but, you know, hey, at least the Democrats seem to come from a situation I can relate to, or they come from more relatable situations than most Republicans come from. Fuck John Kerry. John Kerry's a rich asshole. Pat Robertson's death was a party. Who else did we celebrate? Did we celebrate HW on this show? No, that was before the stream started. Who did we celebrate? It was Donald Rumsfeld we celebrated here on the show. That is a death that deserves celebration. And goddamn, when Henry Kissinger dies, we're going to devote the whole show to him and just the evil that is that man. That will be a celebration stream. And I'll defer to Anthony Bourdain. If you've never heard what Anthony Bourdain had to say about Henry Kissinger, go look it up. I agree with Anthony Bourdain. So I didn't want to talk about any foreign affairs. I didn't really have anything on the list that this goes with, but this is kind of neat. We need to talk about this one. You remember the Prigozhin guy, the head of the Wagner Group? A video has surfaced of him talking about his plane falling apart in the air.
Фонд, который постепенно выгоняют, потому что золотой фонд – это мужики с яйцами. И они не готовы вылизывать задницу.
Today we've reached the boiling point.
Вышестоящему руководству они готовы быть честными. Сегодня мы зашли в...
Why am I speaking so honestly? Because I don't have the right before those people who will live on in this country.
Кипения. Почему я честно все говорю? Потому что мы зашли в эту стадию. У меня нету права перед теми людьми, которые будут жить в этой стране дальше. Им сейчас...
They are now being lied to. Better kill me.
Врать. Лучше убейте меня. Но я не буду обманывать. Я должен честно сказать.
But I will not lie. I must say honestly that Russia is on the brink of disaster.
Россия стоит на грани катастрофы. Если сегодня...
And if these cogs are not adjusted today, then the plane will fall apart in the air. Oh, so he's not actually talking about his plane. I guess the conspiracy theorists have ran with it and said this is some kind of coded message or something.
Не отрегулировать эти винтики, то самолет рассыпется в воздухе.
I was just made aware the other day that this dude was like a chef. Like owned a catering company. A resurfaced clip of the Wagner leader who was killed in a plane crash has been stoking conspiracy theories about his demise. Oh, source, the Gray Zone. Well, that's reputable. See, I give credit. I mean, I don't play a lot of content creators here on the show until we get to like right-wingers. And I still like, David Dix, is that the dude we played last night? I mean, I'll let you know who the dumb fucks are. A fire and rescue helicopter crashed into an apartment complex. I believe we have footage of this, so let me hit the content warning. Flash, good evening. Battle Opossum, good evening. Welcome.
Two people are dead after the frightening scene of a smoking helicopter in South Florida, and we want to warn you, the video is disturbing. This Broward County Sheriff's fire rescue helicopter appears to be on fire, and then it fell into a tailspin. Authorities say the chopper went down just north of Fort Lauderdale and crashed into a small apartment complex. Of the three people on board, one died due to injury and has been identified as 50-year-old Terrison Jackson. Two people on the ground were also hurt, but one of them was killed.
Can we watch that again?
Scene of a smoking helicopter in South Florida, and we want to warn you, the video is disturbing. This Broward County Sheriff's fire rescue helicopter appears to be on fire, and then it fell into a tailspin. Authorities say the chopper went down just north of Fort Lauderdale and crashed into a small apartment complex. Of the three people on board, one died due to injury and has been identified as 50-year-old Terrison Jackson. Two people on the ground were also hurt, but one of them was killed.
Wow. Yeah, it was anybody on the helicopter in Putin's sights? God, this one's graphic. Yeah, if you need a reprieve from graphic content, come back in about 15-20 minutes, because we got several fucking crazy ones to talk about. Content warning on this one. The nephew of NASCAR legend Jimmy Johnson was shot in the face in his sleep by his grandmother. Yes. If you might be new to the stream, there are a couple of different politicians that the chat has requested I always put a content warning up for, and Ted Cruz is one of them. I have to give you a content warning before I show you Ted Cruz. I also have to give you a content warning before I play any clip from Morning Joe. Fuck, goddamn it. A gruesome autopsy reveals that Jimmy Johnson's nephew was shot in the face as he slept by his grandmother. And she was a doctorate. The young nephew of NASCAR legend Jimmy Johnson was shot point blank in the face and chest as he lay sleeping in his bed. His mother-in-law, this is Jimmy Johnson's mother-in-law. This is the victim's grandmother, Terry Lynn Janway, was later found sitting on the couch with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest with the handgun she used to murder her 11-year-old grandson and husband near her hand. The shocking autopsy reports show Janway, 68, did not have any drugs or alcohol in her system on June 26th when she went on a murderous rampage inside her Muskogee, Oklahoma home. It left her husband, Dr. Jack Lee Janway, dead. Okay, so maybe I falsely attributed being a doctorate to her, and that was actually her husband. Little Dalton Janway was found clad in underwear and a sleep mask with a bullet wound that entered the right side of his face and exited through the back of his skull. Dalton also suffered a gunshot blast to the left side of his chest. After the police were alerted to the home by the 911 caller, the dispatcher asked, "Do you know who this person is?" But after hearing silence, he again inquired, "Do you know who this person? Do you know who it is?" Before the caller hung up, law enforcement personnel who were present at the scene then heard a gunshot from another area of the residence. A female was later found unresponsive on a couch in a living area with apparent gunshot trauma and a firearm near her hand. Okay, so this is Dr. Jack Janway and his grandson Dalton. 69-year-old Janway, nice, was found wearing pants, shirt, shoes, and socks with a gun blast to the left side of his chest. He was found in a hallway. The 7-time NASCAR champion had been married to Janway's daughter, Shonda, since 2004, and they share 2 children. The motive for the shooting remains an unknown, but published reports have indicated that Shonda's mother battled depression and was tragically unable to cope with the skydiving death of her 27-year-old son, Jordan, in 2014. Yeah, Flash, you're right. If it hadn't been, like, that's why I noticed the story. Well, I don't know. I mean, Taylor Shabusiness wasn't related to anybody. I have a habit of finding these kinds of stories. But yes, Jimmy Johnson was the reason why I clicked on it. Let's go to Texas, where a tenant at a home was apparently tricked by the landlord. If you didn't have enough reason to hate landlords, apparently the landlord tricked one of their tenants into cleaning up a crime scene.
Coverage of the woman accused of killing her landlord, hiding his body, and renting out rooms in his home. Fox 26's Gabby Hart spoke with one of those tenants who says she was actually tricked into cleaning up the crime scene. Bizarre story, Gabby.
It really is one of those stories that just makes you go, what is happening? Now, that woman says that the suspect actually offered her a discount if she cleaned different floors in the home. When she started cleaning, though, she found some of that crime scene, which included large bins filled with blood, and the further she got, the more she continued to uncover a really shocking and gruesome scene here.
She basically killed this man, took over his house, and was living life like she was, the queen for quite a while.
In July of 2021, Tabitha Pope says 43-year-old Pamela Ann Merritt rented out a room to her that was inside of a home located at 605 West Clay Street in Houston. She claims Pamela told her the rent would be lowered if she cleaned the second and third floors of the home. All Tabitha knew at the time was that the owner of the home, 78-year-old Colin Cardaci, hadn't been seen since February 15th, 2021.
Very suspicious because the way their stories kept changing.
When Tabitha started cleaning the second floor, she found bins filled with blood that were hidden in a crawl space.
It just smelled like death.
And when she asked what it was, she says Pamela told her it was from rotten meat that had went bad during the freeze. But when
there is some sort of noise in the audio from the news organization, and it almost sounds like a fucking eerie soundtrack, like something Trent Reznor would do. It's like just one note, but it has this eerie feel to it.
Tabitha made it to the third floor where Cardaci lived prior to his disappearance.
There was blood on the splatters on the wall. There was coagulated blood on the floor, throughout the room. On his bed, there was a big spot of blood.
That was on October 2nd, 2021. Tabitha called police. Officers came, took pictures, and then left.
Basically, they said no body, no crime.
But on December 6th, 2 months later, Tabitha found the body.
Fucking cops are useless. Hey, come look at this crime scene. Buckets of blood everywhere. No body, no crime. Fuck.
I was back here under the stairs.
The skeletal remains of Cardaci were found in the backyard. He'd been stabbed to death. And Tabitha says Pamela Merritt actually led her right to his remains.
I had mentioned to her that if they found Colin's body somewhere, then it wouldn't be a foreclosure. 2 days after that is when they let slip something about the dog corpse under the stairs. She's like, oh, you want to see it? And then she got all peppy. And I was like, sure. And she damn near skipped to the backyard. She stops and her face just, there it is. And turns around and walks away. So, I mean, I took one look at it and I just knew immediately it was a body.
What went through your mind in that moment?
Oh, she killed him.
Detectives and crime scene units investigated and removed the remains from the yard. No arrests were made. After they found the body, you still lived here?
Yes.
And so did Pamela?
Yeah.
Even though a body had been found?
Mm-hmm. At that point, I had nowhere else to go.
Tabitha says Merritt continued to live in the home until the summer of 2022, more than 1 year after Kardachi's death. Merritt wasn't officially charged with murder until May of 2023, and on August 18th, officers finally took her into custody. Hannah, Tabitha, the woman we spoke with.
I think they did put that music under it.
Home. She hasn't paid rent, though, since Kardachi's remains were found. She's set to go to eviction court at the end of this month. We'll have her full interview posted on fox26houston.com. But as for Merritt, the suspect in this case, she remains behind bars, held on a $500,000 bond. She's set to appear back in court on November 1st. Rashi?
All right, Gabby, thank you. Well, go ahead.
That's what I do here. I troll the internet for the craziest fucking stories I can find. You want another one? You want another one? I don't even know what's going on with this one. I don't know how to set it up. Probably needs a content warning.
A man drank gasoline while police arrested him.
Put your hands up! Drop it! What the?
The Seattle Police Department says officers responded to a home where they were told a man was trying to enter.
Seattle Police! We're checking inside.
Officials say the teenage girl who was home at the time was too afraid to answer the door, so police entered to look for her and the suspect.
Hey, hey, get your hands up now! Get them up! Leave the hands in the air!
A man was found inside a vehicle in the home's garage. When police asked him to step outside the vehicle, he began drinking gasoline.
Put it down. He's got a hammer in his lap.
The suspect refused to open the vehicle door, so officers broke the glass.
Put your hands up! Drop it! What the?
The unnamed 40-year-old suspect was treated by paramedics before he was arrested for residential burglary. This is Inside Edition Digital.
He was trying to projectile vomit a fireball at the cops. That's one way to do a Molotov. This country, man. This country. At least I know. Like, I can do this show for the rest of my life. I will never have any shortage of shit to talk about on this show. Fucking cops have tased people covered in gas and lit them on fucking fire. Was this some sort of self-immolation kind of deal? What the fuck was going on there? This one popped up. I saw this story earlier. I didn't put it on the list, but let's watch it, because what the fuck was this dude doing?
Fences may make good neighbors, but cameras keep them honest. And when a family suspected a disgruntled neighbor might be behind the noxious fumes they kept smelling, they set up a camera. And Stephen Fabian says they were stunned by what they saw.
You are watching what cops say is a terrible crime committed by a brilliant chemist. First, he's seen filling a syringe with some sort of substance. Then he places the syringe under an apartment door. What was your reaction when you saw your neighbor injecting this substance into your home? Umar Abdullah and his wife had just had a baby. Almost immediately, they say, their downstairs neighbor, then a PhD student in chemistry,
I hate kids too, man.
about noise. That's him skulking outside the apartment in Tampa.
After my daughter was born.
It is! He was upset that the kid was like too much noise. Wow.
Right after we came back from hospital, he started complaining.
Then the family began smelling chemicals pervading the apartment. Everyone, including the baby, started getting sick.
She used to cough, and subsequently she used to vomit.
Air conditioning ducts were cleaned, plumbers checked all the pipes leading to the apartment, and the landlord even replaced the water heater. But the noxious...
Another PhD student.
Overwhelming. And that's when the new dad decided to install a hidden camera. At first, the surveillance video caught just a glimpse of the suspect.
I mean, I'm going to hit you with a fact that may stun some of you, but the #1 profession most likely to be a terrorist is an engineer. One of the highest paying professions. That's the #1 profession that is most likely to become a terrorist, is an engineer. It kind of makes sense, yeah, but like, you think of a terrorist and you think about somebody who like doesn't have any options or anything. At least I would, like, somebody who's on there, like, I would think of a terrorist in the Middle East as somebody like who has no political repercussions and needs to make a statement against a imperialistic regime. But apparently, like, fucking engineers, man, they just go fucking nuts. I don't know if they had designations, but I will say, when I was doing AV installs, you know, we had a team of engineers that were our superiors, and my immediate boss was batshit fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking insane. Was like really into drugs in the 70s and then found Jesus and now tells you about how the government is monitoring everything he does and 5G is going to give everybody cancer. Probably would tell me about some chemtrails and shit like that. I don't know, DJ Dub. That's something to look into. One time he gave this stirring speech to us, and he said the reason why we get to go into our job sites looking like pirates, and he looks at me with my Fu Manchu, my earrings, my long hair, my bandana, and I was like, "You think I look like a pirate?" He's like, "I know you fucking look like a pirate." Anyway. The fuck is the dude injecting shit under the door? Just because the kid's loud. The fucking woman upstairs, her kid's loud. I don't give a shit. If she's not upset about me yelling at you guys in the middle of the night, I'm totally cool with her kid causing a ruckus all the time.
The next day, when the camera was repositioned, this happened, and the terrifying truth came out. Initial toxicology reports from police say the substance being pumped into their apartment consists of 2 strong opioids, methadone and hydrocodone. The suspect is identified as Shu-Ming Lee, who got a PhD in chemistry at the University of South Florida. A promising future ahead of him, now in jeopardy for one incredibly foolish...
Wait, methadone and codeine? Did they make a hydrocodone and methadone? Do they have some sort of funky smell? I've snorted enough of them. I don't remember a smell. Yeah, those are controlled substances, both of them. Maybe he made them himself? Like... But I didn't know methadone and hydrocodone smelled. Fair enough, John. Fair enough. I won't hold that against you either. Wow. Do I have another one for you? You bet I do. You bet I do. An online prophet with a huge following has been convicted of child abuse. Reading from Vice, now his most ardent followers are spinning new conspiracy theories about his case. We're going to hear what he had to say here in a second. Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet, and somebody alert producer Dave to this dude. Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet, and also, I gave producer Dave like 14 hours of the Heaven's Gate dude, like giving lessons. I hope he's made good use of those. I miss Twitch. I miss seeing you guys over there. I want to play Conspiracy Bingo again. Rashad Jamal, a New Age prophet with a huge online following among esoteric black communities, has been convicted of child molestation and cruelty to children. This is according to court documents obtained by Motherboard. A Georgia judge sentenced him to 18 years in prison and 22 more on probation. Jamal is among the most influential in a group of loosely affiliated spiritual influencers with large followings on Instagram and TikTok. He's got 84,000 on Instagram, 176,000 on TikTok, and 50K on YouTube. I can't touch those numbers. As Motherboard has previously reported, several of his most ardent followers have themselves been arrested, sometimes in confrontations with police and the public stemming from their unusual beliefs, including 2 cases involving murder. His conviction has immediately generated new conspiracy theories among his most devoted followers, who insist that the case against him is designed to quell his spiritual power and reach. He's going up against the Matrix, right? It's the whole Andrew Tate thing.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
DJ Dub! Excellent. Be careful of prophets. They always want to fuck something. If it isn't you, it might be your spouse or your kids. Or especially your wallet. Jamal, whose legal last name is White, was convicted of 1 count of child molestation and 1 count of cruelty to children in the first degree. He was found not guilty on another count of child molestation. The child he was convicted of abusing is the child of his previous romantic partner, Darshell Smith, with whom he also has a son. Smith previously told Vice that she's been subject to harassment and threats from Jamal's followers after going to police. Jamal is the latest in a series of New Age influencers who blend ideas about black self-determination with unusual, sometimes bizarre beliefs. He claims to be a semi-divine being brought back to Earth to heal the planet. Heal the world, make it a better place. For you and for me and the entire human. I really need to quit singing on stream. I suck at it. He says that black and Latino people are gods and goddesses, accuses NBA players of being synthetic robots, says the government is modifying the weather, and repeats a variety of anti-vaccine talking points. His online platform, the University of Cosmic Intelligence, sells videos of his lectures as well as crystals and jewelry, and is marketed in-person mass meditations. It's also a home for his rat videos. We gotta watch a rat video. I believe the link to one of his sermons is in this story. Yep, here we go. We're gonna have to
the pictures from the West.
So this is him.
We didn't get to post the lectures.
This is him speaking on MK Ultra.
did, I did like 3. You see, I'm pointing out that to show you it's in game. You feel me? And they can make whatever plans they want, but my ancestors got bigger plans for us all. You hear me? For us all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not at the point of being nice anymore, people. My fellow gods and goddesses, my fellow human beings is vibrating high. It ain't time to be nice no more. It's war time. So that's why the teaching's gonna slow down. We're gonna still teach on the website 2-3 times a week. Put them on. So we still gonna be damn near every day. But we ain't on Instagram every day. Slow that down. It's war time now. It's time to prepare for war. It's time to use everything I've been teaching you. See? It's time for students to take the next step in your evolution. Back to your full powers of who you are at your core. Not who they made you be once you landed here.
Seriously, guys. Be glad I have ethics, because I am so much better of a speaker, far more captivating than most of these fucking grifters. Some have some talent. If I knew how to act like a right winger or act like a dumb fuck and sell crystals and shit, I could make so much fucking money. Now, I can't rap though. I can't sing, I can't rap. Let's see if this guy can rap.
Yes. I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me. I want someone to share me with me.
Because you're trying to make me feel that I'm less than a man simply because I don't make enough income for you. And all the years and everything that I've put into the marriage doesn't equate to no amount of money.
Are you talking to the woman whose child you molested?
What I'm saying to you is this. When it comes to, you know, us and
this is from about a year ago.
Everything's based on money. Then that means you have no respect for what we trying to build. You own it, you in it for your own selfish reasons. And that ain't what I'm here to do. You know, like, I'm here for us to grow. So, you hear me? Hello? Hello? I know. Hello? I know she ain't just hang up.
I went through nursing school by myself. I paid for everything by myself.
Man, you gotta lay down a beat and give us some bars before you
This motherfucker doesn't.
you integrate a fucking story into this.
My sister. No,
We're in that digital age. You gotta give us the hook within the first 30 seconds.
I can't tell right now.
Can he rap or can he not rap? What do you guys think?
Excuse me, are you okay?
I'm okay.
You sure?
Are we ever gonna get to the music?
You don't need to be sitting here alone. What's your name, if you don't mind me asking?
This song is called My Love for Real.
Nobody bothers you, put their hands on you or anything. I see you up here crying, sitting by yourself. What's going on?
What the fuck, dude?
Oh, baby.
I do not understand people that cheat on their partners. Don't be in a relationship if you want to fuck around. Find you a partner that wants to fuck around with you and fuck the same people you want to fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't be a straight up individual. Don't be a lying scumbag. God damn. You want to live in sexual anarchy? There are plenty of people out here that will live in sexual anarchy with you.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Oh, baby.
But I mean, the dude's been convicted of child molestation, so cheating's probably the least scummy thing he's done. Has he even rapped anything yet? There we go.
Can't let you think like that. Now who gon' love you like me? Nobody, baby. I'ma keep sweating. Won't lead you on, don't read me wrong. Just read between these lines. Don't mean they think the world of you just cause they think you fine. See, they see legs and thighs, but me, I see behind those eyes. And you in this verse because the universe has us aligned. Girl, you the bomb, yeah, that blue fire, that propane. And yeah, we lit because we twin flames. I can't complain.
You suck. That was terrible. The beat has far too much going on in it. Yes, he absolutely sucks. And now I'm fair. MAGA rapper Bryson Gray came in here, paid me $50 to watch his video one time. And I was like, hey dude, that's a good beat. You've got some talent. You've got skills. This guy doesn't have skill. I'm glad you did good at being a guru, because your rapping sucks. I guess while we're on the topic of rap music, I didn't want to have to talk about him again tonight. But it fits so well in here. Gotta go to a different browser. Hold on. Last night, we did a story about one presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy. Pay for play indeed. Yes, he paid me $50. I didn't lie. The song was decent. I took him to task for the fact that he was bigoted. Go back and watch the clip. I think he did all right. I think he's got some good beats. He came on the show about a year ago. Go watch that interview or that debate or whatever you want to call it, because it's wild. I am now pretty certain that he's asexual and that sex to him is yucky. I think I got to that while we were having the discussion. Everything about it's not just he's because my first inclination was that he was a closeted homosexual. And that was why he was he had a repression issue. But no, I think he's asexual. I mean, it's not payola if I admit to it. if I let you know what's happening. But I'm pretty certain that just any topic about sex gives him the willies. Yeah, Venus, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. I've got a couple different clips with him. I don't think it was during a time that I was banned on YouTube. I think from my time talking with him for about an hour and 20 minutes or so, I think he's asexual, and he has a repression about that. And that's why he's this hardcore, because any talk about sex. Well, thank you, Simp. If you just search Bryson Gray on YouTube and JustinFREAKIN, it'll come up. I'm pretty sure that it's all sex. Now he has a girlfriend and everything, but they're celibate, and it's okay, dude. It's totally okay to be an ace. That's what they're called, right? Asexuals. They're aces. But to lash out, to have a repression that causes you to have, seriously, Purgatorus, my God. I've done pretty good on YouTube. I have no strikes. I'm free and clear on YouTube right now. But I had to not post for 3 months to get down to no strikes. TikTok may yeet me anytime. I keep getting community violations for shit that's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and it's fine. Well, Twitter's the wild, wild west. You can do anything there now. Ace in the hole. Down in a hole. I don't know why that made me sing, I don't know why that made me sing Alice in Chains. So sorry. Somebody who will not be covering one of his favorite artists is Vivek Ramaswamy. Eminem has sent Vivek a cease and desist letter demanding that he stop rapping his music on the campaign trail. And here's the thing: it's like he didn't even pick a good Eminem song. I've gone over this before. He does "Lose Yourself," like the shittiest Eminem song. Like, come the fuck on, dude. Pick something off the Marshall Mathers LP. Well, I guess that's not very family friendly now, is it? The real Slim Shady has stood up and he has told 2024 Republican presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy to stand down and stop rapping to his tunes on the campaign trail. The rapper Eminem reached out to the music licensor BMI and asked that the Ramaswamy campaign's license to use his music be revoked. In a letter dated August 23rd, a representative for BMI informed the campaign's lawyer that the label had received communication from Marshall B. Mathers III, professionally known as Eminem, objecting to the Vivek Ramaswamy campaign use of Eminem's musical compositions, The Eminem Works, and requesting that BMI remove all Eminem works from the agreement. If I was Slim Shady, I would have been like, everything pre-Encore. Anything after that, I could use the boost. The correspondence goes on to say that this letter serves as notice that the Eminem works are excluded from the agreement effective immediately. BMI will consider any performance of the Eminem works by the Vivek 2024 campaign from this date forward to be a material breach of the agreement for which BMI reserves all rights and remedies. Even Eminem knows that Vivek is a piece of shit. Oh, the drug song? So, okay, here's my favorite Eminem song is a deep cut off of like one of his less popular albums. The song Rain Man. And I think it's on Encore. I think that's like the last album I bought. That song is fucking brilliant. The album sucks. You can throw that entire album out, but that one fucking song kicks ass. And then the one before it was like the Eminem Show, and it has that banger of the last track because it's the Dr. Dre song. I don't even remember the name of it. Oh, I think Encore had one too. I think the last track on Encore is really good. Oh, that's one of the earlier songs, isn't it, Venus? Oh, Purple Pills. Okay, that was the D12. By the way, if you're new here, I will nerd out on music. And you will hear me talk about the like craziest genre. I'll go all over the place. Dustin, since you won't be here, I mean we're almost wrapping up here anyway. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. See you tomorrow night, my friend. I will nerd out about music. From all time periods, from all genres. I was going to cut this, but since we're talking about music, let's do it. Apparently, Megyn Kelly is upset about Lizzo. A lot of people are upset about Lizzo. I don't exactly know all the allegations. Something about her forcing one of her dancers to eat a banana out of one of the other's pussies. That's not cool. Yeah. The whole, once again, it goes back to the power dynamic. You can be a sexually open person and be into deviant acts. The whole Louis C.K. masturbating in front of people. Totally cool. Until you get into a position of power over somebody and you use that power dynamic to invite a young comedian act up to your hotel room, and then they feel very uncomfortable you jacking off in front of. If you ask Sarah Silverman, your friend, if it's okay if you jack off in front of her, and she says it's cool, and then she mocks you while you do it, and somehow you get off on that, that's cool. More power to you. When you're using a power dynamic to force people who are in your employ, or you have sway over their careers, you are a gigantic piece of shit. Lizzo has now been dropped from the Super Bowl halftime consideration in the wake of the dancer's sexual harassment and abuse claims, which probably good. I would have loved to have seen Lizzo perform at the halftime show. I'm a huge Lizzo fan, so I hate that this has happened. Every time I had a female friend that would get their hearts broken, I'd be like, go listen to some Lizzo. Cheer your ass right up. Get you some of that empowerment, girl. Megyn Kelly, though, is apparently fat-shaming Lizzo, which is not cool. So fuck Megyn Kelly for that.
Bizarre lawsuit against Lizzo. Now, I confess, when I first saw this, guys, I was like, well, she's very famous. She's probably very rich.
What?
There's this bizarre lawsuit.
Is that like evil Eric Andre and evil Russell Brand? Fuck, he's evil. He's evil on his own now. There doesn't have to be an evil version of him.
Suit against Lizzo. Now, I confess, when I first saw this, guys, I was like, well, she's very famous. She's probably very rich. And that makes her a target. So I don't necessarily believe.
So, Flash, you bring that up. The whole thing about the boomers thinking Jason Aldean and Oliver Anthony are playing the Super Bowl. There are multiple satire news sites that they don't understand satire, and they just report things like Oliver Anthony and Jason Aldean are playing the Super Bowl. There's no joke to it or anything, and right-wingers like run with it. So that's where that came from.
Believe the three dancers who came forward to say she created a hostile work environment. Because I'm going to be honest, at first their allegations sounded like weak sauce to me. I mean, the one is like, I had this feeling that she was upset about me gaining weight. I had this feeling. In fact, I'll play that soundbite for you. It's SOT 22.
I just had this feeling that they had a problem with the way I was gaining weight. She proceeded to say, you know, dancers get fired for gaining weight. You should basically be grateful to be here.
You're Lizzo!
So, okay. That's true. The fact that Lizzo is morbidly obese doesn't change that reality for dancers who are...
Look at Andrew Callahan. Oh my God, John, I can't believe you brought up Andrew Callahan. I actually cited that fucking video where he calls out that dude for being a pedophile earlier today. Because some right-winger called me a pedophile. And I was like, dude... Your first inclination was to call me a pedophile. It's always you guys that scream the loudest about it. And then linked that Andrew Callahan video. Seriously, I really wanted to love that dude because that fucking movie. I saw that clip and went straight to watch that fucking movie on HBO. It was excellent. I hate that he's a piece of shit.
Professional industry. I don't think that's hostile work environment. But... now, since these three filed the lawsuit claiming Lizzo created a hostile work environment, more and more people are coming forward. It's like something like six more who have come forward to say, no, she's a bully. She's nasty. It is a hostile work environment. And not just that, but the current strain. These are allegations which she's done.
God, clinically, I don't even remember now. Like he was creeping on some girl. He was a sex pest, yeah. like harass. I don't even remember what the allegations were now, but he admitted to it. He did a whole apology video. I have a video watching his apology, and I'm like, yep, good. Oh no, why'd you have to do that? Shit. Oh, you were so close. That's all I remember about the Andrew Callahan thing, was that I did a video about his apology, and like the first half, had us in the first half, not gonna lie, and then like turns around and is like, the woke culture coming after me or whatever the fuck it is.
Denying. The current strain is basically saying that she is really inappropriate sexually, Peter. That she's like, she can't stop talking about sex and sexual body parts and like something having to do with going to Amsterdam.
AC/DC? How the fuck can AC/DC do? Like, one, like AC/DC isn't even like really a band anymore. Like they're all dead. And fucking Brian, is it Brian Johnston's the name of the lead singer? Like, he's deaf. How would AC/DC do it? Oh God. Oh shit, did the stream go dead? Half of AC/DC is dead or in jail. The stream looks to be struggling right now. So my apologies for that. Are you guys still with us? Just out of nowhere. Fuck, it has to be my VPN and not my internet. My internet's been smooth. Fucking shit. We were here at the end anyway. Let me go ahead and hit you with an animal. Oh, fuck it, before we get out of here. Oh my God. I promised you this asshole getting booed. Stream's back now. Stream's back. Everybody cool? Here is Elon Musk getting booed at the Valorant champs. The Valorant championships.
Where's that from? That can't be from in here, surely.
Is that a bigger reaction?
Paperwork's to try and close. Where's that from? That can't be from in here, surely.
It is. They're booing Elon.
Is that a bigger reaction than 10's got?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. Must be nice. 10-5. Focus back on the game now.
One more time.
Where's that from? That can't be from in here, surely.
Is that a bigger reaction than 10's got?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn. Must be nice.
Apparently they also chanted "Bring back Twitter" at him. And since it's, let's go ahead and watch it again since it was so good. Maybe you guys didn't see it at the beginning of the show. DeSantis got booed.
Councilwoman, I got you. Don't worry about it. We've already been looking to identify funds to be able to help one, make sure there's adequate security for Edward Waters College. We are not going to allow these institutions to be targeted by people.
Just know that the state of Florida stands with the community. Help is on the way. God bless you all.
Who's a racist? Yeah, he actually canceled a campaign appearance to go to the vigil. I said I didn't even know if he was in Florida for this. Oh my God, Venus! Fuck them all to death. I gotta get a clip of Garrison saying that now. You pull down their pants. Oh God damn it! Gotta interrupt the animal video.
Well, there's only one immigration policy that I believe in, and that's f them all to death. F them all to death. Let's make this country great again. F them all to death. And then I'm gonna take all the drug pushers in our country, and I'm gonna f them. Where do you know those people in Syria? I'm gonna.
Oh shit, I haven't watched Jesse Dollemore in a while. I haven't seen his videos pop up.
That's why I will make sure that every terrorist on earth is leaders of North Korea.
Yeah, why am I not getting the Dollemore Daily anymore? What the fuck? Ah. Look at that little baby. Hey, if, our buddy Jerome the other day that tried to argue evolution with me, does that not look like a human fucking baby? Come the fuck on, dude. How stupid can you fucking be? Tell me evolution isn't real. That the earth is 13,000 years old. Fuck off, dude. We came from a common ancestor. It is absolutely obvious to anybody with a fucking brain. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.